Was good, everyone. Give me a minute. What's good, everyone? What's good? Yeah, I want to just, um, I want to talk about a few things right now because I see a lot of stupid ass motherfuckers on there. And this is gonna be a real disrespectful live right now. So if you don't want to hear anything negative or disrespectful, get the fuck off my page, you bitch ass nigga, faggot piece of shit. I'm about to get real disrespectful. I see a lot of like people who talk about 9 to 5 slavery and the government this and the system this and I want to be free and I'm shut the fuck up, bitch ass nigga. There's no such thing as fucking freedom in this world. If you think there's freedom, you're a fucking retard. Slavery, 9 to 5, everything the government does, they get from somewhere. The government is not creative. White people aren't creative. Europeans are pieces of shit. They don't know shit. So anything that they do, they're copying from somewhere. So when you look at like people say, "Oh, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to be free." There's no such thing as freedom, bitch. Spirituality is not free. You don't get to do what the fuck you want to do. You don't have free will. A lot of people who sit there and talk about you have free will, you could do whatever you want to do. They're speaking from a perspective where they probably didn't make a lot of because when you don't make a lot of mistakes, it's like the good thing is you don't make a lot of mistakes, but the bad thing is because there's a good and bad to everything. But the negative is you don't know, you don't have as much knowledge because you haven't been through enough hell. So when you go through a lot of hell, you have more knowledge. So when you go through a lot of mistakes, you realize when you go through a lot of mistakes and you get back on track, you realize that you don't have free will and that you're not, there's always a boss. There's always something you have to succumb to. Just like you have a 9 to 5, you got to go and you got to perform and you have to check and jive just to get paid or you're going to get fired. There is that in the spiritual world. There is an energy and a force where you have to do what it tells you to do. And you have a lot of dumbass spiritualists out here be like, oh, whatever they call it, God or spirit, whatever the fuck they want to call it, doesn't have a name. But most people like to call it God because they're fucking indoctrinated and they're fucking retarded, but it doesn't have a name. But whatever energy it is, a lot of these people, they're under a haze and a spell where that, oh, you got to do it for the spirit or you got to do it for this and that and you got to live for this. But and then they try to make it look like there's something good in it. I'm not saying it's bad, but they make it look like it's good. Like, for example, if I told you guys that you gotta do what I say, or and I have the power to make your life hell, you're gonna call me a demon. But for some reason, if it's another energy, then you people seem somehow to rationalize it. Well, you're doing it for your this, you're doing it for the greater good, or you're doing it for what they call whatever you want to call it. But in reality, nigga, you're doing everything you're doing is so you don't experience pain and hell. And that's what it is. I wouldn't say it's good or bad because that's just me getting into my personal biasness and shit. But I wouldn't say it's good or bad, but it sure as hell isn't just one-sided good or bad. It's just, it is what it is. But for you to think that you're just going to escape slavery, escape, oh, I want to just do whatever I want. There's no such thing as that. You're always going to be a slave to to something in this reality. And anybody who says, well, my life is good and that is only good based upon what you did. so it's all conditional. Like if I tell you I'm gonna put a bullet in your fucking child's head if you don't drop the $100,000 cash at the spot. If you don't drop the $100,000 cash, I'm gonna put a bullet in your fucking child's head. But if you drop the $100,000, your child's gonna be living and you're gonna be happy. Oh, thank you for not killing my child, bitch. I didn't kill your child because you did what I said. So anybody who, if your life is good, it's because you did what somebody said, or if or the other no, there's no exception. If your life is good and you did whatever you wanted, that's what you call doing something illegally or doing something unrighteously. Like for example, a dictator, they live in a good life, but at the expense of their soul. So you can't. So it's always gonna cost. But if you live a good life and you didn't do anything negative, that's because you did whatever something told you to fucking do. So that's the only reason life, that's the purpose of life, is to not experience hell. That's the only purpose of life, is to not experience pain and hell. Anybody that says otherwise is a fucking retard. Even if you want to talk about, oh, it's about evolution. It's about, shut the fuck up, bitch ass nigga. What you want to evolve for? So you don't experience pain. Whether you want to say, oh, my spirit wants to grow. Why the fuck would your spirit want to grow? So it doesn't experience pain and hell. Everything reverts back to not experience pain and hell. Even if it means you having to experience pain and hell so you don't experience pain and hell. Because people say, well, I went through a hard experience so I can grow. So you went through hell so you don't go through more hell. Dumbass. It all stems back to not going through hell. So I just want to let you guys know that there's no escaping the 9 to 5. There's no escaping, because spirituality is a 9 to 5. Spirituality is enslavement on a certain level when you get deep. And anything good that comes from it is because you got the carrot on the stick and you did what the fuck you were supposed to do. And if you didn't do that, you would have experienced hell. So don't be like, oh, well, my life is good because I sacrificed this, so I got this. Well, if you didn't sacrifice it, you would have went through hell. So yeah, you sacrificed something and you got good things happening to you, but if you didn't sacrifice it, you would have went through hell. So this is why I say life is, it is, I want to say life is hell, but and I wouldn't say life is good. It just is what it is. Anybody that wants to tell you one sided, like life is all bad or life is all good, they're a fucking idiot. And this is a person who's in a religious mindset. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they probably use the word God and shit and stupid shit like that because they have no other word, or their mind is so capped, so they have to use shit like that because they're fucking retarded. Because even when you want to talk about the whole concept of God in the Bible, you can't really say, like people say, oh, the Jewish God, the Bible God, they're gonna send you to hell if you don't do this and that. But then they'll go and talk about, oh, I have to live for God. I'm doing this for God. I'm in alignment with God. And then these people are so-called spiritual, but then they're talking. So pretty much with the Jewish God, whatever the Jewish man said in their Bible about God is actually kind of a right description of what the fuck you're talking about. If you want to take it to that fucking level, because if you don't listen to all these spiritual people talk about God, but then cast stones on religion, but yet they said if you don't listen to God, then you're not going to be in alignment. You're going to experience hell. So isn't that the same thing as a Jewish God? If you don't, you're going to go to hell if you don't listen to God. And these people even use the terms hell and heaven, and they don't use heaven, but they'll use hell and even sometimes heaven. So it's like, what the fuck is going on here? That's why I tell you guys, like, you got to look at shit for what it is. Like spirituality is just, you got to do what the fuck you got to do. You're not just like you got to go to work and perform. Don't think just because I'm free. There's no such thing as freedom in this reality. There's no such thing as freedom. You can have good times and happiness and bliss or whatever the fuck you want, but that comes at a cost. You got to sacrifice. You got to give up something. And if you know, it's not even really comes at a cost, really, because if you don't sacrifice and give that shit up, you're going to experience hell. So it's like you're either going to experience hell or heaven. You're never going to just experience what you want to experience. And even if you do experience what you want to experience, it's on condition. So you did something to get that. There's nothing just happens in this reality. So you guys got to understand and get that shit, like, because I just had some realizations in life, and like I'm realizing the more I come to these realizations, the more I really don't give a fuck about. Like there was a time I was telling you guys I wanted to have a my own healing center. I want to have my own business. I want to be this and that, and even at one point I want to at least like have certain. I give a fuck about all that shit now because it really the reason I wanted it was because of a certain reason. And knowing what I know now, like that nothing is really free and everything comes with a cost, and there's always going to be problems and dilemmas. I'm just wanting to just take it day by day and do what I got to do right now, and whatever comes from that comes from that. If it comes from that something like whatever that I so-called thought I wanted, then it comes from that. But I don't give a fuck about any of that shit, because like there's no point really to like there's no point in any of that shit. Like if I'm doing only the only point of life is to do what you got to do right now. So whatever you got to do today, worry about today and do what you got to do today, and then take it day by day. That's it. And then whatever comes from it, if something comes from it, which if you're meant for that, then it's going to come to you and things are going to happen to you. But if you're not meant for that, then you're not meant for that. And then that's where you just got to leave it as is, and just don't even sweat about it. Because even if you do try to force it, then that means you have to do something illegally, or you got to do something that's unrighteous, and it's going to come and bite you in the ass. That's why, like, when I realize, like, when I look back at my life, like a lot of like most of the shit that I've got, that's what kind of upset me and pissed me off, because like majority of the things I've gotten in my life that were so-called good, like I had to hurt somebody, steal from somebody, and do something illegally. Anytime I want to do something, like get something good and positive, or something that I wanted, and I won't say good or positive, but something that I wanted, like 99%, 90, I say 90, 85 to 90% of the things that I've gotten in my life that I so-called wanted, I had to hurt, steal, and manipulate to get from somebody. And it kind of pisses me off, because anytime I try to do something righteous, it would never work out. So this is why, like, I never really had a sympathy when I just went and manipulated and fucked somebody over, because, or stole from somebody, or just did something crooked to get what I needed, because it's like, how else am I supposed to get it? But I'm realizing I had it backwards. Like, who the fuck said I needed that shit? So now I'm like looking at it like I really don't give a fuck about any of this shit, because the more I give a fuck about it, it's gonna lead me into a situation where I gotta hurt, steal, and manipulate to get what I need to get, like I've been doing, and I'm just done doing that shit. Because it's like, not that I give a fuck about people and I have sympathy. It's just I'm not gonna sit here and sell my soul just to do some fucking stupid shit that doesn't mean anything. Then when I get it, I don't even really want this shit no more. So the only thing I want to do is what I'm supposed to be doing. And now I'm in a whole zoned out state where I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit, because the only reason I cared about having fun and getting high and doing things what I didn't want to supposed to do is because I wasn't truly devoted to my path. Now I'm truly devoted to my path, and I know I can't do any of that shit. I really don't give a fuck about anything really, other than just being on my path. So like this is where at this point I just sit on my ass and just fast and take. The only thing I want is good health, and to fast and just sit on my ass, and that's it. I don't give a fuck about shit else anymore, because there's no point. Like me, because I have a lot of like, I'm ruled by Venus, so like I have a lot of like, one of my problems is like sacrificing and getting rid of desires and shit like that, which I am doing good. And this is why I'm in this mindset now where I'm like, I give up everything. I don't give a fuck about nothing, because anytime I get into desires and into not sacrificing what I need to, it's a problem. And so therefore I'm trying to eliminate all problems. So right now, like, I feel like I'm at the most peace in my life, because I don't give a fuck about shit anymore, because I know anytime I do give a fuck about shit, it's going to lead to something negative. So it's like I'm at a point where I don't give a fuck about shit no more. So this is why I say, like, this whole shit is a slave system. Like, you guys think about slave system as in just you going to work and all that. That's probably the worst slave system. That's worse. But at least when you're in the spiritual slave system, you know that, because at the end of the day, like I said, there's an energy. You may call it God, you may call it higher up, or overall greater power, whatever. But that energy, you're that energy's bitch, and you have to do everything it says. And other spiritualists, they don't want to speak like this because they're fucking retarded, and they're just, they don't want to look at it in that type of light. Like, if I told you guys do what I say, or I'm gonna kill you and make you go through hell, and I have the power to control the elements, you're gonna look at me like I'm evil. But then there's an energy that does that. You don't look at it like it's evil. I'm not saying it's evil or it's good, but you look at it like it's, oh, you be in alignment. That this is that cult like haze spell that spiritual people are under, that I just fucking hate, and I want to just strangle them because they're fucking retarded. Like, and I'm not saying for you not to listen to the energy and do what it says, because if you don't, you're gonna experience hell because you're in its domain. So you have to do what the fuck it says, or you're gonna go through its pain and its hell. But the thing is, though, when people do what that energy tells it to do, and they live a good life, it's like a bitch who gets her ass beat all the time by the husband and shit. But then the husband buys her gifts and shit, and the bitch is under a spell. Well, he's a good person because he does good things, even though all the negative. It's kind of like that. Like, there's an energy there, and we're all that energy's bitch, and you have to listen to it and do whatever it says, or you're gonna experience hell because you're in its domain, you're in its realm. Some people call it God or higher self energy, whatever the fuck, but you have to do what it says. Otherwise, you're going to experience that. But for some reason, nobody says it. Nobody acknowledges that. Nobody looks at it from that point. But when it comes to like the matrix and the system, and we gotta go to work and work for the dollar and shit. But it's the same fucking shit if you really think about it. Because try not being on your spiritual path. See how much hell you're gonna experience. See how much torment you're gonna experience. You see what I'm saying? And you can't say, well, our spirit chose this. Yeah, your spirit chose at the same time, but at the same fucking time, like, there's certain things your spirit don't fucking choose, nigga. Like, you didn't create this fucking realm. You didn't create all these elements and shit. You're participating in this shit, so you're not in control of all this anything really. So we're in a, like, if you really look at it, we're like in a slave system in a way. But at least this slave system is not the same. I'm not going to compare it exactly to the Jewish, because the Jewish slave system and all this other bullshit, 9 to 5, that shit's like, no matter what you do, it's against you. This one's, at least it's more like forgiving, and it's more reasonable and rational when it comes to doing what you got to do. But like, I really I'm just wanted to tell you guys, like, this shit is really like, there ain't no such thing as you escaping anything. You always got to do work. Don't think that, oh, there's a time where everything is just peaceful and everything. And even when you get to a time where it's peaceful, even if you get to a realm or an existence where everything is peaceful, it was because what you put in. So there's nothing's for free. So let's just say you die, you go into a reality where you can just be and chill and everything's blissful. You didn't just get there for no reason. You have to go through something to get there. So you paid for it. Everything costs money in this reality, in existence. Everything costs money. Money doesn't have to be dual with currency. And just like you go to the store and you buy some shit, you bring out currency and you trade them that currency for that shit that you got at the market. It's the same thing, but on a spiritual level, you got to put in energy work. So nothing is really free in this reality. Nothing is free. Everything good that ever happened in your life, you have to pay for that fucking shit, good or bad. A motherfucker who goes and robs and steals and kills people for money, they have to pay for that fucking shit. Even though you say, oh, this person, he scammed people, they got to pay for that shit still. They have to pay for that shit. Depending on who you scam. Obviously, if you scam like Walmart or Target or a corporation, the karma doesn't exist. But let's just say you go and scam somebody like who like works a regular 9 to 5 and they're a slave and they have to work and they had children there and you stole from them and shit. You're gonna have to pay for that because that's a real person. But I'm not saying like if you steal from Walmart, Target, or you steal from like a bank, like you did a bank, that karma doesn't exist then. I'm not talking about corporations because it doesn't matter when you steal from them. And even if you do get in trouble, it's not because of the energy or the spirit or whatever. It's because of it's because of them. Like, let's say I steal from Walmart and then I go to jail. That's no spirit. That's not no spirit punishing me. That's because Walmart and the police force, they somehow got me. That has nothing to do with So don't always understand. I don't think that everything has to do with the energies and the spirit caught me. No, sometimes it's humans doing human shit. If I go and I go and do if I go and I go and chop this fucking little girl's head off, you're not gonna say, oh, it's a spiritual thing. No, I fucking use my actions to go and chop that fucking little bitch's head off. Ain't no spirituality. Oh, the girl deserved to get her head chopped off because and it all synchronized. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That's stupid as fuck. I use my will to go and chop the bitch's head off, and that's why her head got fucking on a stick. So that's it. like there's certain things human beings do. So you guys always got to keep that in mind. Don't think that everything is all spiritual. That's what these stupid Jewish fucks and these faggots they like to speak on. Is um they try to make it look like everything is God related or everything is spiritual. Trump doing this is because of some spirit. Like even these stupid niggers on like black conscious channels and all that, they'd be like, "Oh, Trump did pass this law. It's because of this and his spirituality." And like, shut the fuck up, you stupid dumbass nigger. That's not what it is. It's because a fucking stupid cracker and a Jewish small dick faggot decided to make these laws. So that's why it went like that. It has nothing to do with anything. If that's the fucking case, nigga, like I can just go and just commit a heinous crime and say that it's karma because I did that. Like the fuck? That doesn't make no damn sense. But at the same time, you guys gotta understand that everything is a slave system. Everybody, shout out to the third view. What's good with it? It's like 100% true. Thank you for talking about this. So sick of people. Yeah, for real. Karma is not what people even think it is. Karma is like a fucking is something that grows over time. It's like a seed you plant. It is not something that just fucking happens. Like some karma is something you grows over time. It's like a seed. So I don't know why people even like assimilate karma with like something like, oh, this happened now, this needs to happen. And just shut the fuck up. A lot of people don't know what the fuck they talking about and shit. Like me, I know everything I'm talking about. I'm the smartest person on this motherfucking planet, and I know everything. Even the shit even if you say, "Oh, you don't know this, bitch," that's knowing everything. You stupid fuck. To know everything means that to know to not know. If I know everything, I know how it feels to not know something. Dumb fuck. So I know fucking everything, including me not knowing something. Because if I never knew that I can't know. If I never knew the feeling of not knowing, then I don't know everything. You fucking idiot. So I know everything, including not knowing. Like I don't know what color fucking underwear this bitch is wearing over there. I don't know that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know the fucking what this person thought at 3:15 on August 17, 2019. I don't know what the fuck they thought. So I don't know everything. You fucking idiot. So any for all you guys, oh, you don't know everything. Yeah, I don't. I just gave you three examples or two examples of me not knowing everything. So, but it's just so funny. You see all these dumbass people like think they're gonna escape slavery. They think they're gonna escape. Like nigga, you as long as you're in existence, you're not escaping slavery. You're an infinite spirit. You live forever. You live forever. You live forever. And even then, like there's even I don't like to sit there and take people's shit. Dolo, he talk about spirit evaporation. Just the fact that your shit can evaporate and you can get out of here, and that's a thing. That changed the whole spectrum of people saying you live forever and exist forever. Like so that right there, just that alone itself tells you that if you ain't fucking with the energy ain't fucking with you, it's gonna get you up out of here. Just like you have cancer in your body, bacteria, you got to flush that shit out. The bacteria in your body, it wants to live and enjoy the flora in your body, but you don't want it there, so you get it the fuck out of there. Just like if you want to enjoy your life a certain way and it's not in alignment with the energy, nigga, it's going to get you the fuck up out of here. So just that alone, that's a possibility, because I didn't know about the evaporation shit till he said it. He spoke on it, and when he said that, it made me realize like, okay, this shit is not what people really thought it was. People thought this shit, oh, you live forever, and then there's a thing you cannot even exist no more. So if that right there won't even doesn't if that right there, that evaporation of your spirit, if that's even a thing, and me just saying what I just said this whole last 24 minutes of this fucking live stream, if you can't put the two together, then make me like, okay, he actually is onto something, then you're a fucking idiot. You're just you're like in a cult like delusion, which a lot of spiritual people are. Like a lot of these, that's why I say most of these people are into like into the spiritual shit. They're very under like a delusional haze. Like they're no different than a religious person who talks about Jesus Christ. Like I literally look at like everyone. Like at the end of the day, you doing what you got to do has nothing to do with love, light, and fucking. You do it. It's just like if you, it's like somebody talking about like, oh, I take care of my kids, and they keep bragging like, bitch, you supposed to take care of your fucking kids. You don't get no kudos points for that shit. Oh, I wash my ass every day, or I fucking I don't chop people's head off. I don't rape women, or I don't, like, bitch, you're supposed to not do that fucking shit. Like, you don't get a kudos points for saying I didn't chop this person's head off, I didn't rape this bitch, or I didn't not take care of my kids. Like, you don't get no kudos. Like, bitch, that's supposed to be a normal thing. So you being on your spiritual path, nigga, what the fuck talk about, oh, ooh, love and alignment, I'm in love with, man, shut the fuck up, nigga. You got a homosexual energy for the fucking, you got a homosexual feeling for the energy or some shit. Other than that, nigga, you sound like a fucking weirdo. Like, talk about, oh, I'm in love and alignment, and then, like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Do what the fuck you gotta do and shut the fuck up. Unless you making money talking about what the fuck you doing, and you getting paid to talk about what the shit you're doing. Then if that's then okay, I can, and even then, like, who the fuck said you gotta make money doing that? There's people who make money doing other things other than fucking grifting on the fucking internet, talking bullshit. If you can't find another way to make money on the internet besides grifting and talking bullshit on the internet, you're a fucking retard. You need to get your ass fucking disrespected. It's just crazy. Like, it's just so damn annoying, like, seeing a lot of this shit, because we coming into a new season right now, and it's like, I, there's a lot of shit that, like, I've been going through really recently, and, like, a lot of shit I've been going through recently, mainly mental realizations I've been going through, because, like, me, like, I'm so smart and intelligent that, like, everybody has to have problems in this world, and the more intelligent and smart you are, the more your problems have to be mental and not external. Like me, I could be homeless on the street. I can fucking have, like, dumb, like, yeah, stupid, but oh, I have to go to work for 70 hours a week. I have to work and I have to take care of my kids. I was homeless. I was living in my car. I mean, shut the fuck up, nigga. That's easy, bitch ass nigga. Because when you're a weak ass spirit, then the external things have to fuck with you. When you're a strong spirit, then you can be in the most nicest fucking mansion, and then you'll have mental issues or some shit. So, like, or mental things. Like, the more stronger spirit you are, the more non-physical things have to fuck with you to get you to understand, because it's like the spirit, like, this is why I say health doesn't exist. There's no such thing as actual mental or physical health. Everything is just, because remember that the energy I told you, when you're not in alignment with the energy, it will create health problems, it will create mental issues. So a lot of the 99% of the mental and health issues you experience is not because you eat junk food. If that's I've seen crackheads who eat junk food, who smoke crack, they're 80 years old, 70 years old, they're old. It has nothing to do with that. If you're not in alignment and you have a mission and you're a strong spirit, you're gonna have more health issues. This is why you see some people like 30, their heart starts hurting. They're in the 40s, their heart, they have issues or mental issues. And, like, you do everything, you take herbs, you do this and that, and you do everything right. But there's one thing you're not doing, whatever that is. Let's just say you're supposed to be fasting or cleansing, or you're supposed to be sacrificing a certain desire, and you're not sacrificing that. You can be taking care of your health and eating healthy and doing this, but you're going to have problems still in your life. And then you may say, why is this person doing it? It's because they're a weak spirit, or maybe they're doing, not even they have to be a weak spirit, but maybe they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing. So therefore, because when you're a strong spirit, you don't have grace. So you could be a strong spirit and be doing everything that you think is right, but you didn't give away this one sacrifice. So now you like start having all these health issues, but you're like, oh, I eat healthy, or I do this or that, or it has everything to do with you not be listening to that energy. You don't listen to that energy, then it's gonna fuck with you and give you issues and problems. But on the bright side is, when you are listening to it, you're gonna actually be more in a better position. That means you're gonna be more lucky. Like, you'll be able to manifest more. So the negative is you don't get no grace. But when you actually are on your path and you're doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna actually have more luck. Like, you have more good things happen to you and shit. Like I'm kind of like me. I'm a strong spirit, so I can't, like, I have to be on my health and everything. Like, health is not even really a thing for me. Like, I could eat healthy and do everything, but if I don't do something, if I don't sacrifice the right thing, then even though I'm taking care of my health and fasting, things will just start happening to me. But on the bright side is, like, I can get away with a little bit more shit. Like, I ran up in a whole bunch of stores and stole a whole bunch of shit, and Spirit was allowing me to do that, because there was a time in my life where I didn't have the energy to work a 9 to 5 and do, like, right now I have the energy, but like, mentally I'm not gonna do it because I don't need to at this point. But there was a time I didn't have the energy to work a 9 to 5, so the Spirit, I was like, well, why is this like? It's easy for me to steal a whole bunch of shit, but I have friends that go up in the store and then they end up getting caught or some shit. and they can't do it. They have to ask me, "Can you get this for me?" And I'll pay it for you. And they have family members and shit because they could. I'm like, just go and do it because they couldn't do it because. But it's certain things that I couldn't do that they can get away with. So it's like the spirit allows certain things because I needed to at least survive and to be able to have money in the system. So it allowed me, it shielded me, and it allowed me to create a situation where I was able to like do. I'm not going to tell you guys how I did it because I don't want to put how I stole shit because I'm not trying to have that because you know these dumbass people on TikTok that was like, oh, a life hack, and then everybody knows the hack, and then the matrix will block the hack. So I'm not going to tell you guys how I went into these stories because there is a certain way to do it spiritually with rituals and certain physical and non-physical ways to go about it so you don't get caught. But I'm not going to disclose that because I'm not trying to have them patch that up. But there was things I was doing that the spirit told me to do, and I was able to, didn't tell me to do it, but I just did it, and fucking I was able to just be able to do a lot of shit and should get away with it for a long period of time. And like, I don't do it as much anymore, but like, I can't, yeah, I don't want to keep going on about that shit, but it what I'm trying to tell you is you get certain grace for certain things and certain things you don't get grace for. And this is why you got to just pretty much be in alignment. And this is why I tell you nothing is really as it seems. There's no such thing as health. Even when it comes to like things like crime and shit, like when you see a criminal on the street and he gets caught or a drug dealer gets caught, and but it's not because oh he just got caught. There were certain things that happen in his life, like before things happen to you, you get warnings. Certain things happen, like when a, like even like you see somebody on the street get caught for just the same thing I said about health. Bad health doesn't just happen. It's a certain thing you're not doing, and then bad health will happen to you. Just like with you see a criminal get busted. It's not that he just got busted for doing a crime. It was there were certain things he did and he was supposed to be doing, and for him not doing that, the spirit set him up to get busted. Like there was a time like when the police had ran down on me, it was a Saturn Square fucking sun, and I hadn't smoked weed in like fucking 3 months or like in almost a year. I hadn't smoked any weed. I woke up that morning, it was Saturn Square sun. I had an urge to want to go to the weed club. And I was like, let me just go to the weed club. Literally, that fucking day, I went to before I was going to go to the weed club that afternoon. That morning, police pull up on me and shit. And like the spirit was telling me don't go to the weed club. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going. And like literally that fucking morning, police pull up on me. And then the second time the police pull up on me, it was like the spirit was telling me to do something else and I wasn't listening. And then it pulled up, like it's like it was a certain time. Every time I have issues with like health or with like law enforcement or something, is because it's something else that I wasn't doing and I was neglecting, and it had happened to me. It wasn't just like oh, it just happened out of the blue. It's like I was warned and I didn't heed the message, and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm doing what I want to do, and then that's what happened. Damn near every major dilemma, if not every major dilemma in my life that happened to me, was because like I was warned about something else that had nothing to do with the thing that happened to me, and then that happened because the spirit allowed it. It was that energy. It will create problems in your life if you're not in alignment with it. This is what they say you're gonna experience hell because that energy, it controls whether you experience hell or heaven. You control your actions and stuff, but then at the same time, why can't I do these actions and me not experience them? And I'm not saying we should or we shouldn't experience it and do whatever we want, but I'm just saying it just shows you we don't have free will. And you're somebody's bitch. You're just like you go to 9 to 5, you have a boss, and you're a bitch to that corporation. Don't think because you leave that corporation and you're by yourself, you're no, you're a bitch to life. This is why you have the astrology. This is why we have certain squares and alignments. This is why we have certain vibrations and frequencies which you can tap into and fall into, so you attract shit. Because if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to attract certain negative frequencies and vibrations, and it is going to happen to you. So I just want to let you guys know like what the fuck is going on, because you can't escape. Don't think you can escape this world. You can escape responsibility. You can't escape slavery. You're gonna have to experience that shit for forever. Even like you think like oh, even if the Jewish people didn't run this system and shit, and let's say we were back on the land and we had our own land and shit, and there was no 9 to 5 system, and Jewish people and Europeans, they didn't exist, and everything was beautiful and peaceful as if they never existed. Let's just say we lived in that land. Like there could be a situation where all of a sudden, like if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in alignment, the spirit can just create a tornado or create a drought and fuck up your whole civilization. That's happened. Native Americans, there's some native tribes who weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, and a fucking tornado just hit them out of nowhere. Just or a hurricane just hit them, or an earthquake just hit them, destroyed all their shit because they were probably fucking and having fun and smoking, not doing anything that the spirit wanted them to do. Not saying fucking and smoking is wrong or nothing. It's just the spirit probably don't want you doing that because who's just like when you say what's right or wrong, it's based upon whatever that energy wants. It's not based on what's right or wrong because it's always right or wrong because it wants your spirit to grow. But why was a mechanism created for our spirit to not grow from not doing this or that? Obviously, when you get to the root foundation of it, it's because like if I create a video game and in the video game, if you get hit 10 times, you die. Does that make getting hit 10 does that mean every video game if you get hit 10 times you're gonna die? No, that's just how I wanted my video game to be made. Is it right or wrong for me to make it where you get hit 10 times you die? No, that's just how I wanted my game to be. So when you say something is not good for the spirit, it's not that it's not good for the spirit, it's just that's how this mechanism was designed for the test, and we signed up for this test, and that's what it is. It's not that it fundamentally, yeah, it's bad because if you don't do something for the spirit, you're gonna fucking fail. And we don't want to experience hell because the whole point of life is to not experience hell. The whole point of existence is to not experience hell and pain. So obviously, but if you really when you really think about it, it's like that was created as a mechanism and a design for us to play in, and that's what it is. So it's like there's really that's just what it is, really, at the end of the fucking day. To look at it as good and bad, you look at it from good and bad as in you don't want to experience that because you don't want to experience that. That's it. Not because it's really fundamentally good or bad, because really ain't nothing really good and bad. It's only good and bad on the pretense of we don't want to experience that so we don't go to hell. Obviously, sticking my hand in fire is bad because it fucking burns and it's going to deform my fucking hand. But in reality, like, if a mechanism wasn't created where I could stick my hand in fire and it wouldn't burn, then it wouldn't be fucking bad. Just like some people are allergic to peanuts. It's bad for them, but if I can eat some peanuts, it ain't bad for me. So it's like, whatever. It's not that the thing is bad. It's just, that's just how it's depending on the person and the situation you're going through. I'm going to read some of these comments. But don't think you get escaped this slavery. I'm just telling you guys, like, this life ain't really what you guys think it is. You thinking that you can escape slavery and all this shit. Literally, all my problems are mental. I've been meditating daily, realizing that external world is weak, so much more powerful than humanity's dramas. Yeah, for real. Like, even like the whole meditating, like me meditating to me is just being doing whatever you can do and be in a calm mindset. So qigong, that's meditating to me. Yoga, that's meditating to me. Breathwork is meditating. That's the only type of meditation I've ever experienced. I've never experienced any other meditation other than qigong, breathwork, and yoga. That's meditating to me. So when you say meditating, your meditating is probably different. Like, because I don't know, because when people say meditating, I don't know what people see. Because a lot of people, they'll talk about meditation and like they don't even talk about qigong, yoga, or fasting. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, to be meditating. But yet again, like I say, everybody's version of meditating is different. I don't know what people do to meditate, and nor do I really even care what other people do. But like you said, realize the external world is weak. It's weak because it's not fulfilling, and even if you put all your energy into it, it's like it's no. You realize that is no point to it. Like, the only reason most people put their energy into the external world is because they're not dedicated to their spiritual path subconsciously. They may say they are, but they're not. Because when you're fully dedicated, then you really don't give a fuck about the external world. Anytime you care about the external world, that means you're subconsciously, you don't really feel like you're dedicated to your spiritual path. You're not committed to it. Because you could say I'm committed to something, but subconsciously, if you're not committed, then you're gonna play out certain actions that show you're not committed. So this is where people say, "Oh, I don't give a fuck about the external world," but then if they lose their cell phone, they start tripping. So subconsciously, you still aren't committed, because if you're really committed to your spiritual path, you know that if you're not on your spiritual path, you're gonna experience hell. And if you don't, and you don't, and then that's the only thing that matters, is not experiencing hell. So at that point, you don't give a fuck about nothing external, because you know that external is going to eventually lead you to hell. Once you start caring about the external, it means you still want to get it out your system. You want to get that external world out your system. You still want to have fun. You still want to enjoy and get high and do all these things subconsciously, even though you may not want to. You may say you don't want to. You may, because you're not fully in it. This is why I told you guys at the beginning of this live stream, I really don't give a fuck about this goddamn this world anymore. Like, I used to care about business, money, and all that shit. And I'm not saying, like, if that comes, it has to come through me just being on my spiritual path, and it comes. I don't want to say fall on my lap, but me doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and therefore, because when you help the energy will help you. Like me, I'm supposed to be fasting right now. The reason I'm not going to tell you guys, oh, there's a fasting muscle, and the reason I'm fasting is because the spirit helps me fast. I hate fasting. I hate fucking doing this shit. I don't like doing it. But then it's easy for me right now because I was doing it for so long, and then I woke up one morning and it got easier. The reason it got easier because the spirit gave me the ability to do it, because I helped myself do it, so it helped me. So when you help the energy, it helps you. So therefore, it becomes a lot easier. It wasn't always easy like this for me. It's easy now because I was doing it long enough, and then the spirit's like, okay, I see you're doing it, and I'm going to help you. I see your I see you need to I see, like years ago when I was fasting, I didn't have the energy. So it's like I didn't have the energy to work a 9 to 5, and then I had family member, oh, you need to work. I didn't have the energy. So it allowed me to do things and make money. So but I had to still hold my end of the bargain. So that's how, just like what I told you guys about health, there's no such thing as health. Health is all spiritual. So just like when you if you don't if you eat healthy and vegan but you're not in alignment, you're going to still get sick. If you fast and you do everything in alignment and you don't live by the matrix rules, you're still going to get the benefits of you living by the matrix rules. So this is where you have people who don't need to work a 9 to 5, but then and they always have money, and they always have abundance and stability. Is because they're in alignment with self, and then they're helping the energy, and the energy's helping them. This is why I say the energy, the overall energy, I'm not going to say it's good or bad, because at least with the overall energy, when you help it helps you. The matrix, when you help the matrix, it doesn't help you. When you work at McDonald's for 50 years, you don't get shit. When you work at a corporation like Apple or Google, you don't get shit. They don't give you nothing. You can work at Google, they don't give you shit. What do you think? Oh, you think $200,000 a year is money? That ain't shit. They print the money. How was you getting $200,000 a year sufficient? Whereas the person who created the whole system, they don't use money. So obviously, whatever they're giving you is fucking monopoly money, or it's fake, or it's not important because they're not using it. They're not giving you something that they use, which is like something that you can't even work for. You see what I'm fucking saying? Like, so like they don't give you shit when you work at these corporations. You get something when you actually help the spirit, when you help the energy, you get something. Hold on, give me a minute. Yeah. But I just felt like I gotta say some real shit. Shout out to Moody Mercury. Yeah, shout out to Moody Mercury. One of the few real motherfuckers on this bitch. Like, there's actually making content. Only a few people making content that's real on this fucking platform. But they're out there, but like, there ain't that many. Like, everyone is just like, I don't know. And it's funny because like, as like he says something in his last live stream, and he's like, somebody asked him, do you think um spirituality is going mainstream? And the way I look at it, like I honestly like don't think spirituality is going mainstream, because what I realize is, because I haven't really been on the internet and in that long. Like I don't be on the internet, and if I'm on the internet, I like, the more I'm on my spiritual path, the more I don't want to even watch shit about spirituality, to be honest. As a matter of fact, if people talk about spirituality, too much. I like question it, like, unless it's some real deep shit, because it's like you work at your 9 to 5, and you come home from work and people start talking to you about how to stack boxes. It's like, nigga, I'm at home. I don't want to talk about that shit. Like, that's how I feel. I feel that when I'm on my spirit, when I'm really head on my spiritual path, like, I really don't even want to talk about it, or even don't talk to me about it, because I know what I need to do. When I know what I need to, like, I know everything. I have a Capricorn North Node, so everything I do needs to be grounded in reality and about what's real. So, because I have a Capricorn in my North Node, so when I'm on my spiritual path, like, I don't even want to hear about spirituality. If anything, I like to hear about shit that ain't even about spirituality, and shit that's about grounded shit I can do, that I can for my shit. So when I look at it, like, I feel like when I'm in the real world, I don't even really hear that much about spirituality. People are just in their own shit. I feel like I don't even really think spirituality is gonna even get that mainstream, because the reason I say that, because once it was about to, and it was trying to get to that point. But what the thing is, the longer you're on the spiritual path, the more the more the shadow work needs to be dealt with, and that's very, very tough for most people. It takes sacrifice, it takes discipline, it takes a lot of things that the Matrix doesn't promote. The Matrix promotes having fun, it promotes relaxation, it promotes easy. Oh, I'm hungry, let me go DoorDash. I want to order this movie, let me just click a button. It promotes easiness, which spirituality doesn't really promote. So people who will get on the spiritual path, and it will have that boost to it going mainstream, but then eventually the people on that shit, they're gonna die. The gas, they're gonna run out of gas, because the shadow work, the dedication that it takes, it's not gonna make it. So that's why I don't think spirituality will ever get mainstream. What will get mainstream probably is religion. Like, you see how Christianity and all this shit is getting mainstream, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to blend Christianity with spirituality, just so they'll have like these stupid faggots like Mark the Messenger and New Breed, because I guess he gets his ass bred by fucking faggots. So what happens is you have people like that who are mix Christianity with chosen one. Like, oh, believe in the Most High because you're a chosen one, and Jesus Christ is the answer. And if you want to be a chosen one, then you have to implement fasting, because they says fast for 40 days. But you also got to remember that there's low vibrational demons that want to take your vibration. See, keyword vibration. And you see how they're mixing it with Jesus and fasting. And see, they're trying to do this mixing. This is why they Mark the Messenger and New Breed Faggot, they get like a lot of views, and they're promoted because they're mixing spirituality with religion. And then this is what keeps people stagnated, because that religion is really what's keeping people stagnated. And they add a little spirituality, because they have to add the spirituality to keep it to keep it looking like it's actually normal. Like, because if it was just blatant religion, nobody would believe in that shit. Ain't nobody going, when people think about religion, nobody gives a fuck about a pastor. Everybody knows pastors play with children. So when people look at religion, they don't look at the pastor. The pastor and the priest is being replaced with the chosen one. You see what I'm saying? The Bible is being replaced with like YouTube videos, like Mark the Messenger. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to replace it. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it will never reach a mainstream point. But what you see reaching mainstream is religion and Jesus and Christianity and all these fucking dumbass shit. And even then, it's not even real. It's not even the real religion. It's like the morphed version that people create themselves. So it's not even religion, but they're taking aspects of religion and spirituality and making it some other shit. And that's what you're seeing becoming mainstream. And people are thinking that's spirituality, but it isn't, because if you look at most of the people who are under that bullshit, they're just a bunch of regular people who live regular lives, doing regular shit, not doing anything else, but just being a regular fucking person. So, like, and they're just watching it to make them feel better, because you still don't have to take responsibility, because you're a chosen one and everybody's attacking the chosen one. And since everyone's attacking the chosen one and you're a chosen one, there's nothing you could do about it, because you're supposed to be attacked because you're a chosen one. So it's not even about overcoming, it's about how everyone attacks the chosen one. It's like, bitch, I hear you chosen. Like, who the fuck chose you, first of all? And then secondly, it's like if you're so chosen and so powerful because you're chosen, then how are you getting attacked so damn much? Shouldn't you have a shield? Shouldn't you have defense, protection, or some shit to deflect it and thrive? And like it's all fucking weird, dumbass shit. That's why I don't even that's why I don't think spirituality will ever go mainstream like that. And it seems like, because when I was watching a lot of spiritual videos back in the day, it seemed like it because that's what was my reality. And then you'll even manifest situations where you may see it in your real reality. And that's all due to like you actually like manifesting it in the reality. But when you're actually in the real world doing real shit, you realize like this world is far behind. This world is actually getting dumber and getting worse. Like, is weird because we have AI, but yet people are getting dumber. But yet, no, I'm not saying AI has to do with intelligence. If anything, I'm trying to show you that how AI isn't intelligent. Because how do we have AI, but people are getting dumber? People are more dumber now than they were back then. And the reason, the major catalyst for people becoming dumber is because of lack of shadow work and pain. A lot of more people are experiencing hell because, especially the time we're in right now, a lot of these planets changing, the outer planets changing. We're going into these Aries and just a shift for inward in year 9. We're just in an overall shift. So a lot of people are getting a lot of like you can't do what you've been doing before, and if you are, you're going to be feeling a lot more resentment and pain, and like you got to change. And a lot of people don't know what's going on, so they just take it as in life is just beating them up. So therefore they're projecting their ignorance, their stupidity, and they're losing a lot of mental power, so they can't even project the same mental power as they were years ago. So it comes off as them being more ignorant, more dumb, more unhinged. And this is why I say people are getting dumber. And in a way, they have to make AI because at this point, no one can really work these jobs because people don't have the sanity, they don't have the time, and people's mental capacity is going down. So they have to have AI to actually replace the average dumb sheep. They need to type in something. They need to do all this to replace everything. It's like it's perfect timing. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Yeah, shout out to Mooney Murphy's a very good point. True. I'm gonna read everyone's comment. It's gonna not enough return work is being done. If people were doing the work, we wouldn't even allow life to continue how we do. We would have been changed collectively. Exactly. If enough people it doesn't even have to be everyone. Just like even like if a million people were to wake the fuck up and say, oh, I don't want to pay taxes to the IRS, that would be enough. It doesn't even have to be everyone. It just has to be enough people. It doesn't have to be everyone, just enough. And then it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I don't see how we haven't got to that point yet. I feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's just a lot of shit that the people who like control this shit, like there's a lot of programs that divide and conquer things and all this other crap. And then they got like this is another reason. This is probably part of the reason they're raising inflation. They got to make it much more harder to live in the matrix to keep people more in the physical. And it's not like I don't want to say there's anything wrong being in the physical, it's just the type of physical. Like if we were in the physical, we were all building our own houses and create our own, having our own land, and even the whole concept of land. Like you can't even if you have the money, there's certain things you people talk about. Oh, we need money to buy land, but then even when you do that, there's certain land that you can't even buy because the person who has it, like there's certain people that they buy land, and even if you have the money, you can't even buy it from them because within their contract, within the elites, they can't even sell it to you because like they're trying. It's like it's so much. It's deeper than just money and land and all this other shit. It's like people got to change on a mental level, and then from that, it's got to trickle down. It's not just about having resources and money and land because even if you have that, nigga, like even if you had like $1 billion, like you can't just buy certain shit. Like there's even laws and shit where like there's a law in the fucking, I don't even like to go off laws, but I want to just show you guys an example how it's deeper than this shit because you don't have to have a mortgage and you have to pay rent every month or mortgage every month. Mortgage is rent pretty much, but in the bank, if they want to, they can, even if you have the money to pay your mortgage, they can say we don't want to take your money because they don't classify the dollar bill as money. Because the elites, they don't use the money, they don't use dollar bills, so it's really not money. It's only for the sheep, so it has no value to it. So if they find like okay, if they don't fuck with you because you're a player in the matrix and you have too much money or you're too powerful, they could be like, we don't want to take your money no more. So now Even though you have money, which they say you need, they can just say we don't want to take your money. But you don't really hear shit like that because it's not to that point. But if people started actually hacking the matrix, like for example, day trading, you can make money off day trading, and there's certain strategies and things you can make money. If too many people started making money off day trading, they will ban day trading. This is why they make it. This is where it's a law where you have to have $25,000 minimum to day trade on the stock market, because they have to make it like that. Because if too many people hack the matrix and make money in it, then it's gonna they have to change the system. So they have laws in place where they won't take your money. And this, so that's what I'm saying. It's a mental level. It's not about just the resources and the money, because they can find a ways to circumvent that shit and change laws. As it's a mind thing people have to wake up to, more than just we need to get this money and shit. Which on a certain level that is good, but it's like it's deeper than that shit. It's like Moody Mercury said, people were just doing the shadow work. Everybody, if everyone did their own shadow work, it would lead everybody to a place and a location and a vibration where everything will just flow more fluidly. And everybody will be what they're supposed to be and do what they're supposed to do, and it will just connect. Seeing Mark the Mixture, mixed spiritual shit religion, he got millions of views. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anybody with a lot of views is actually, they're very, very, like that's not no spiritual shit. People say, oh, I got millions of views, I'm gonna wait. No, at this time in 2025, if you got millions of views, you're most likely a puppet. You're an agent, and if you're not careful, you're gonna fuck around and get some karma because you're misleading a lot of fucking people. So you don't want to be in a state of being right now where you're having millions of views, because there's no way you're getting that much views, because they got the algorithm on lock. So anybody getting a lot of views, like I seen this one British fucking crumpet fuck face tea drinking motherfucker. He's all talking about that. He got like 500,000 views every fucking video. He's talking about how are we gonna collapse the economy? How can we stop paying taxes? I'm like, nigga, if you don't shut your stupid puppet ass up, nigga, like you obviously, you can tell everything he's saying has no validity. I don't even need to watch his videos, because the fact that he's getting that amount of views and he's talking about how to get rid of taxes, it shows you that whatever he's saying is not how taxes are to get rid of, and most likely taxes aren't going to be gone. The fact that he's even talking about it and he's getting that many views, so I don't even see taxes going away anytime any soon. Because how is he getting that many views talking about how we're going to take down the system and how we get to get rid of taxes and all this other bullshit? That's all is all bullshit. So that right there, he's a puppet. He's an agent. I don't know exactly what his goal and his intentions is, but just all I know is fucking that's some puppet shit right there. And then like they got, then these people sit here thinking they're doing something right. Like they think they're in their ego. That's the shit that gets me like irritated. Like they be thinking they're actually special or they're doing something right. And I was like, bitch, you're not doing shit right. Like if I got that many views, nigga, well, first of all, I wouldn't even get that many views with the sentiment that I have right now. So you have to be in a certain spirit and sentiment to even get that many views. Because if you notice something off, you won't even be talking the stupid shit you're talking. The fact that you're talking dumb shit you're talking to even attract that view, to have them put you in the algorithm, means you have to be a certain level of ignorance. Like he doesn't know that, so he thinks what he's doing is correct. He thinks what he's doing is right. And in the moment he starts being himself, because eventually we're all going to have to be ourselves or experience hell, like I was saying earlier. The moment he starts being himself, he's going to notice his views start tanking, and then if he doesn't have a strong mind, he's going to feel unconfident in himself, and then he's going to resort back to being fake, or even then it may even be too late. So he's going to want to be fake and he can't, and it's going to be like a whole disaster mentally, because fucking idiot doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So that's why I'm like, for real, how can the real truth get attention? Like, how can the real, like, if you speaking some real shit, you're gonna be attacked. You see plenty of people out here on YouTube who are speaking some real shit, and you see how they're getting attacked. The same people who are pushing these people in the algorithm, you see how they're attacking these niggas to the T. So like it's very bad. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, so after just seeing that, that's what I'm saying. These Jewish people, this government, they're fucking retarded because they will promote people like Mark the Messenger and all these other faggots like Infinite Waters, and then they will promote them. Which okay, you could promote them, put them in your algorithm to get people tricked, but then how are you gonna go on other content creators and start trolling them? Like you're trolling their channel, and you're the same people that are promoting these other people. Like at least, like you're making yourself look bad. Like at least calm down or chill out on the trolling on other content creators that are pushing truth. Like they're doing it. It's like they're so emotional in distress that they can't help it, and they're forgetting that it's making them look bad because you're these are the same people that are promoting Trump, promoting all these other bullshit YouTubers, and promoting all these agendas like pandemic and the vaccine, whatever, and all this crap. But then they go and troll other people that are in so-called that have the real truth, not even so-called, they have the real truth, and they're forgetting not only that you're trolling these people, but these people have family, friends, and other people that watch them. So they're able to put the pieces together like me. Like, okay, how are you promoting Trump and telling us to vote and to do this and to be a good citizen? You got to do this and watch Infinite Waters and shit. But then you go and start trolling these other people, and it was obviously that they're the same faction. Get the fuck out of here. Like, it makes you kind of look at them like, are you retarded? Like, it's like they can't help it. They're so emotionally distraught that the truth is getting out, and that because they you know that all-seeing eye, they try to do that all-seeing eye thing, like, oh, we see you, but then this is what they trigger, like, people like Dolo and shit, like channels like that, they trigger them because they try to pull that all-seeing eye, but then they got other content creators that are doing that shit for real on them, and then it gets them so emotionally distraught. Like, we're the only ones who are supposed to be in that energy. How the fuck is he able to know what we're doing? And like, fuck that shit. And then they get so mad, so they can't help it. So they have to keep trolling him because it's out of emotion. It's not out of like, oh, we got to troll him to make. It's not just because they're trolling him so people don't take him seriously. Yeah, it's mainly that, but it's also because they're so emotional, distraught that they can't help it. Because if it wasn't that, then why would they even waste time trying to prop up people like Infinite Water, Till Swan, and fucking Trump and all these politicians for people to take them serious, whereas you're doing things where I can't take you serious. So the people that you want me to take serious, how can I take them seriously and not look at them like they're a puppet? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hella weird. It's like they can't. It's like they're so emotionally distraught that they can't control themselves, and then they're like fucking up all the shit that they've done. Like is weird because people can see through the bullshit. Like they think that not every because they act like nobody can see through the bullshit. Like people can see through your bullshit. I don't get it. It's fucking weird. You already know Mercury. We really have just to focus on offline shit. Yeah, offline is the way to go. Offline is the way to go. I'm not saying like never go online or you can't do anything online, but offline is the way to go. Really, that's actually the new thing. Because you see how back in the, I would say back like around the pandemic, everything started getting more online because everybody had to go in the house. So then everyone, oh, open your online business and do all this shit, which is nothing wrong with any of that. But then if you really look at it, what the problem came is as time went on, everyone just kept being online and making online the end all be all. That's the problem. The online is still helpful and useful, but we also need to be getting offline. And to be honest, right now is the time to get offline and start doing your shit. Because eventually, once you start doing that and that starts gaining traction, being offline is gonna be the new online. Right now, everybody thinks, oh, it's about being online. It's about being. I could already kind of see the online shit dying off. I can already kind of see it dying off. Like, yeah, as far as like people going on making retarded TikTok videos and just being online talking about dumb shit, that's different. But as far as people thinking that online is the place to be, because if you look at it, the reason why everybody thinks being online is the place to be is because online was supposed to be something that works. We obviously see online isn't working. All these people say, "Oh, you can make money offline. You can make TikTok online." But yeah, how many people you see complaining about inflation and rent, and why isn't nobody making money online? So it's only going to be so long until people realize that online really ain't the key. You can't make no at first everyone said, "Oh, you could connect with people online." Obviously, that doesn't work because 99% of people you see connect online end up having a falling out. And connecting online is actually worse because you can't read subtle cues you can read in real life. If I make a video and somebody else makes a video, I've had people that was cool with me. They blocked me and not cool with me because they thought my video was about them when it wasn't. So obviously connecting online isn't the fucking way. Making money online, I'm not saying you can't do that, but shit, you always could have made money online. What the fuck was stock market trading and day trading and all that? Was online. If you really look at it, you could have made money. You could have always had an online business. eBay's been around for how long has eBay been around? You always could have done that. They've always had market online marketing that's been around fucking for years. They have fucking pyramid schemes which stem from multi-level marketing, which that shit's been around for years. So you could have made money online all the time. All this other shit people talking about now is just the haze, or like the like the not the like the craze, or like the just a program. Everyone just talking about making money online, so everyone is assuming it's something new when it isn't. This shit's been around. A lot of this shit's been around. Nothing is really new when we talk about making money online. And you know it's not working because why is everybody online complaining about money, whereas they're online complaining about money, but yet you can make money online? So I'm not saying you can't, but there's the same way you can make money in real life. It's the same mechanism you could make money online. You still got to put in the work. You still got to put in the effort. You still got to be in a certain frequency and vibration to even be able to make money. And it's not even just with money. You have to be in a frequency and vibration to attract anything. If you want to attract good health, if you want to attract being a responsible person, you have to do shit and be disciplined and be in that frequency. Like whatever you want to attract, you have to be in that frequency and vibration, and that includes money, even relationships and all that shit. So it's like it's the same thing with everything. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about when they want to act like this whole online shit is some new shit. You still gotta get up and put in work to do anything. Nothing is free in this world. And then it's like, and then you'll see other people that will. The reason I think it's people don't they look at it different because you have a lot of these get rich quick scheme gurus that like to sell you this idea, and they don't even when you if you go into a guru, a lot of these gurus, they scam money, or they fucking they probably had $1 million to play with, which they probably scammed, and they put it in this old crypto coin, and then the crypto coin went up, and then that million probably went up to like 5 million. Then they took the other 5 million and invested it into this fucking business, and then now they got like $20 million from investments and in crypto and all this, but then they'll sell you that they got it from fucking doing some type of like multi-level marketing thing, like they got all their millions. But it's like people have ways of getting their money. A lot of these people sold drugs, they fucking did scams, they did multi-level marketing pyramid schemes, they got their money up that way, then they took a little bit of the money, invested it, and then they make themselves look like they got their money legit. Like a lot of people do, they do a lot of like shady stuff or things behind the scenes that you don't know, and then they sell themselves like, oh, you could get rich quick like this, and you can easily, but you don't know what the fuck they did. And not even say they did something illegal. A lot of these people probably had legitimate businesses, but it took them years, probably 10 plus years to get to that level, and they got to that level through hard work, but then they sell it like, oh, I got here easily, or I got here like this. Like it's a method to getting some money and wealth, and it's a method that you have to go through, and it takes time to build it unless you're doing it illegally. And even if you're doing it illegally, it still takes work and time. Otherwise, you know how many people out here who have a criminal mind who want to be rich and that aren't rich. And so even if to do that, it takes a certain level of frequency and vibration. Like a lot of the people who you see who do criminal activities and they get like $1 million from a pyramid scheme, they were in a frequency to attract that. But the thing is, they use their frequency to do it negative. They could have used that frequency to do it positive and get good. You see how Batman, he made millions of dollars doing scams, but then he got out of jail. He makes millions of dollars doing fucking legit. So he could have used he was on a vibration of having money and like that, but he just used it for nefarious ways. Whereas just some of these people, they just use it for nefarious, where they could have used it for positive ways, but they didn't know they can do it, or they didn't want to do it that way for whatever reason. So it's like there's a lot more into it. So you can't, when people talk about money and shit, all these gurus, they're just doing it so they can make money from you, because they have to sell a course. Because you could get $100,000 and make yourself look like you have 7 or 8 figures, and then you can sell a course with just you could sell a course saying that you're a millionaire, and even though you don't even got $1,000,000, you got 100,000, or you even got 50,000. You could make yourself look good, buy like a nice designer suit, rent some cars, get a nice background, and then sell a course, say I'm rich. And that's how some of these people do it. And then they end up getting 50 grand, making themselves look like a millionaire. And then over a course of a year, they have like a $500,000 that they made it over a course of a year. There's people that do that shit, because that's how then there's actual companies that have fake background sets of a yacht, of a private jet, of cars that you can rent out to make yourself look rich, because it's a business. So you can, and in a way, if you have like 50 grand or some shit and you want to make money that way, it's kind of smart, because there's a lot of dumb people who make money and it's not illegal. So that's why I say you guys got to be careful out here, because you got to look at reality and what's actual reality. That's why I say just be yourself and be in alignment with what you got to do, and then all that shit will come, if it even is meant for you. A lot of times, once you really do some inner soul searching, you realize you don't want any of that shit. A lot of that shit, which is programmed desires, you were programmed to like a lot of foods, a lot of thoughts, a lot of shit you think you like, you don't like. There's a lot of food I used to like, I don't fucking like anymore. When I was fasting and cleansing, a lot of food I don't even fucking like anymore. That's disgusting to me. But I at one point I liked it. I thought it was good and it was the best shit. But it was a program. Because when I was young, like 4, I used to be extremely picky. I used to not like anything really. And I remember as I got older, I started liking certain foods. And then back in 2019, 2020, when I started my fast, I started cleansing and shit. And those same foods I liked, I stopped liking and shit. It's all a program. Even a certain type of women you like. A lot of you niggas attracted to certain women that you think is attractive, but then you realize you only like that bitch because you were in a low frequency. Or you watch a lot of porn because you're in a low frequency. Once you raise your frequency, you cleanse a lot of these demons, whatever they want to call them, demons, energies, whatever. You're not attracted to that shit no more. That's why you gotta like fight those desires, because your desire, anything that you're not the mind. So desires, habits, and all that, you're not that. You don't like any of that shit, and you could actually create better habits, like things you do like healthier habits, better foods to eat, even like the food you don't like junk food and shit. The reason you like it is because you're stressed, you're depressed. If you're somebody who likes junk food all the time, that's because you're a stress eater. If you're not stressed, you're not gonna like junk food and all that shit. You like junk food because you're a stress eater. That's what they call it. That's what junk food and eating unhealthy stems from stress eating. Anytime you like, oh, I like this fat, I need chicken, I need fried food, I need this, and you're fiending and you need it, that's because you subconsciously you're stressed out. You're not happy, because if you don't eat it, it's like a crack addict. Are you addicted to crack? No, you're not, because you're not into that state of being. So you're not gonna go say, I want to have some crack today. But a crackhead would, because he's in that. So if a crackhead could stop liking crack, what makes you think you can't stop liking your addictions to porn and food and all that other shit? It's the same fucking shit. I told you food was a drug. And if you say, oh, no, it's not. Okay, apples is food. Why don't you just eat apples and oranges and vegan smoothies and shit? You can't, because obviously you're addicted to the chemicals and you're addicted to to stress eating, which I just said. Otherwise, you would just stop. You would eat apples, because apple is a food. Watermelon is a food. Even if it's like plain white rice or brown rice or something like that's more. Why do you got to eat candy and sweets and ices and all that other shit. The reason you have to eat that shit is because you're addicted to it because it's a drug. There's a the fucking there's I seen an article or some shit on my feed. Some kid went blind because he had there's a certain disease called avoided um it says it's like you can only eat certain foods. I kind of had this. I don't want to say I was diagnosed or I had this disease, but I could understand where he was coming from. He could only eat certain types of food because he's extremely picky, and he was only able to eat like hamburgers, French fries, and like I seen a documentary. This dude's only able to eat French fries and pizza or whatever, and that's all they can eat. And I guess this one kid, he had that disability or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that diagnosis, and he went blind, and everyone was like, oh, he went blind because he ate junk food. And it's like, it wasn't the junk food, you dumbass. It was the chemicals that they put in the junk food that made him blind. Just eating, what is a french fry is a potato, a donut is fucking bread and shit. So when you look at a donut and fries, they put chemicals in the fries and in the donuts and in these, and that's what made him blind, not the actual just bread and the potato and shit, because that's fucking like, bread ain't natural. But even just eating plain bread isn't bad. But when they put all these chemicals that make the bread, this is why Wonder Bread tastes the way it does, sourdough tastes the way it does, and they have like a hamburger bun from McDonald's tastes different than any other because they put chemicals in it. This is why the French fries from each fast food place taste different, because it's the chemicals that give it a taste. If it was just a potato, it will all taste the same. So when he went blind, it was because of the chemicals they put in the food. So it just shows you the shit you're eating is not just food, it's chemicals. Because how the fuck was this kid able to go blind from just eating hamburgers, French fries? And if you look at a hamburger, what is a hamburger? Bread, meat, vegetables. And then you may have the sauces, which tomato sauce, ketchup, and then mayo. Even mayo's eggs, and then they put vinegar and some other shit in it. It's like, it's all natural food, but what makes it taste like mayo, ketchup, or a certain hamburger taste is the chemical in it. So that's the shit that got him blind. But all these dumbass was, oh, it's just hamburger. But how was a hamburger able to get blind? Dummy, is obviously just something they're putting in the fucking food. So it's like, it just shows you that all this shit is a drug. That's what you're addicted to. You're addicted to that, the taste, natural flavors, artificial flavors. That's a drug. Why we artificial flavors, artificial high, fentanyl has an artificial high to get you high. That's why fentanyl gets you higher than heroin. So the regular heroin will get you higher than crack because it's an artificial high. Artificial flavoring. It's a high for your taste buds. This is what I have to add, artificial flavoring. The foods that have the best artificial flavoring, or they were able to get down the recipe perfect and perfect, or whatever, what's the word for it? Perfected. Those are the foods that taste the best. So you see McDonald's, they're the number one fast food place, or you may see Chipotle, they're like one of the number ones. Those are the companies who are able to perfect the drug, to perfect the artificial flavor, to make it taste, because they have scientists that perfect the taste. And they have a team where they spend millions on this shit to perfect it. They're able to perfect it. The ones who could perfect the taste, those are the most popular food. That's why you have like Takis chips. But then you have an off brand. Nobody wants the off brand because they didn't put as much research and as much money into perfecting it. So therefore they're able to, it's cheaper and it's an off brand. But in the one everyone wants is, the more they perfected it, they spent more money. That's why they charge more money. All a drug. There's like different drugs. Even you go to the weed club, different weed, when they grow the weed, the person who's able to grow the wheat the best, use the best chemicals, use the best, the grow it in the best lighting, and they put the best chemicals, they spray with the best. And then you have the cookie strain. But then you have other strains that are like OG Kush, which is still good, but the cookie strain is the more stronger strain compared to the other, because when they made the cookies, it's all who can perfect the ingredient. Because all of this shit is a drug at the end of the day. I'm gonna drop the chat if anybody wants to come in and add. So we got 20 people in the room. I'm gonna read some more of these comments. He said they need people in survival and scarcity mentality, but people are in fear of survival. They are easy to control. Yep, that's how it is. They want everybody in fear. Facts is the chemistry. Hey, I'm gonna read the comments. I just want to read the bottom ones because that has something to do with what I was saying. I went all over the place. Facts of chemistry, excitement, people. Yeah, they got even with the porn industry, like the way they have the porn and everything. Like everything is like all about getting your attention because they have to get people's attention. It's all about addiction. Because corporations, they need you addicted to their shit. Otherwise, they're gonna lose power. They're gonna lose money. That's another reason why a lot of the corporations are going down. They want to say, "Oh, it's because of the money and people can't afford things." That's part of it, but there's other parts of it which they can't really explain and research really can't tap into because, like, a lot of people are having awakenings. A lot of people are forced to get rid of desire, especially this time right now. People are forced to get rid of bad habits. So this plays into the corporation's pockets because now a person who was smoking cigarettes or probably watching porn, he may have stopped watching porn, so therefore they're getting less traffic revenue to their porn site because this person said, "Oh, I quit watching porn because the spirit's been telling me I gotta quit," and then they're on their spiritual mission and they quit, or they give up eating junk food because they're having health issues. So now it's affecting the corporations and shit. And then that's part of it. Yeah, some people can't afford it because of the price and the inflation, but a lot of the times it's people just having to get rid of it because you can't keep doing this shit forever. You can't keep damaging your body forever. It's gonna catch up to you. And a lot of people they're heeding the warning and they're like, okay, I can't do this no more. I have to get my shit right. And then that factors into why they're losing money and shit. That's how I think a lot of the reasons, like the Matrix, you see the Matrix is crumbling and the everything, and like things aren't the same as they were, is because the energy is dying off. Like a lot of people aren't putting as much energy into the system and the shift that we're in, so therefore they can't really make as much. They can't really. They don't have as enough energy as they did before, so their energy output and input isn't the same. So this is why they're developing more shittier products because it's like they don't have the same input output as they did before. So it's like the products are shittier, the movies are shittier, and then people don't have the time because the time is accelerating. So just to even put the time and the energy and effort you have to put in to things isn't the same because a 24-hour day is like this. So in a year span, they're like, well, we can release this amount of products in a year. That's probably a lot less because of the way that shit is. And even if they do release it, it's the quality is going to be less. And then even if the quality is the same part, they probably might have to raise the price and shit because a lot of the reason the prices and the shit, I want to say all the whole economy is just them raising it. Part of it they do raise the economy and it has to do with taxes and tariffs and shit. But I feel like a part of it is because of the people. Because you got to remember the people are the energy. So everything is about the people. Anytime they put a story on the news about politicians and war, always remember it's about the people. It's about you. So you can't just think the economy is just them making numbers go up and down. Even the stock market, yeah, they can control it, but when you look at certain astrological energy days, I know it's like the stock market has been down since the stock market crashed and the fucking crypto crash. And this shit started around the new moon in Pisces, right before Venus was retrograde. Anytime Venus goes retrograde, the markets go down, and Venus is in Mercury's retrograde with Venus and shit. So the markets are down right now. And you can say, oh, they just made it go down because of the time and they knew astrology and they made it, which you can say that. But I'm thinking like things happen in the world where people emotions go high and things happen because of these planets, and it results in them going down as well as them making it go down. I wouldn't just give them all the credit like they're just making it go down. The people have a lot to do with it because the astrology rules the mind. So people go through emotional ups and downs due to astrology. You got to understand that. And when these things happen and situations happen, a lot of people who got money in these markets, something may have happened in their life or certain life lessons related to Venus going retrograde, which made their business go a certain way, which affected these markets. Then don't just put all the credit on them. Dave Mason, just put it down because nah, everyone's going through spiritual lessons. A lot of these people who got millions of dollars, who got these corporations, these businesses, they're going through their own spiritual lessons. This is why some of them have to go through certain lawsuits and shit. And some of them, they may have like a $50 million network business, and then they go through somebody hits them with a $10 million lawsuit. Now they have to deal with that. That's their lesson, having to deal with them not being attached to their corporation. They thought, I'm a $100 millionaire, I got all this money. Then they got slapped with a $20 million lawsuit. All of a sudden, like 10% of their network could be possibly wiped. So now, like, that lessons like that happen to everyone. Like they say, more money, more problems. Things happen. Like, so you got to look at it like that when you look at like life in general. Life really ain't no joke. It ain't no situation where you on top. I think these Masons and shit, they go on the internet and try to shadow ban people because they can lose their shit. They don't think that they're sitting in a situation where we straight and we comfortable. No, they stressed out too, to a point, because they can lose this shit. Especially people waking the fuck up and shit. Like, they can lose this shit if they're not careful. If they don't shadow ban people and do what they gotta do, this shit could get lost. And all that hard work that they've been working on, it could be done. And all the work and all the people they killed to get this shit is all done overnight. So, like, they gotta be on their P's and Q's. Ain't nobody really relaxing right now. If you're in a situation where you just chilling, relaxing, you ain't doing, you ain't in alignment with the energy. And you're gonna have a wake up call right now. Ain't no relaxing time really for anyone at this point right now. He said, I don't know if I can access this link on the phone. Oh, yeah. But it's just going, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's just strange online because at least you can lead by example. Offline, people can see you firsthand in your spirit, but online people watch it is easy. Exactly. And it also allows for no, because people are more in real life. People are more real. People aren't going to be willing to start bullshit, start drama with you. If there's a misunderstanding, it gets dealt with. Online, if there's a misunderstanding, people just want to just run their fucking mouth and take it to 100. And that's one thing I try not to do. Like, if I have an issue with somebody, like if it's somebody I don't fuck with and somebody just off my frequency, then that's different. But if it's somebody I was cool with, I don't even just take it to that level. I like to come respectful, because I'm like, if I was in real life, I wouldn't say this shit to them. I would at least talk it out. That's one thing I like about real life. If there's a problem, you can just talk it out, and you can say, okay, this is this, and then you could communicate better, which is kind of weird because social media is built on communication. It's Mercury is all about communicating and all that, but yet it seems like people can't communicate on this bitch. People, like I said, motherfuckers blocked me and made videos talking shit about me. There's one dude years ago, because over a video that wasn't even for him. I was just talking in general, and he thought it was for him, and he just blocked me and shit. And then at that point, I should have handled it better, because at that point, I didn't even explain myself. I just started running my mouth and arguing. But I should have been like, I should have handled it a little better at that point, which I would now, especially if it's something like that, which I wasn't talking to you. But I just went off the deep end and just started. I didn't even explain myself, which that's what made it even worse and shit. But even then, it's like, who really gives a fuck, really? But like nowadays, I wouldn't do that. But if this was real life, it would have been. He wouldn't even have made that video, because in real life, they would have been able to see the subtle cues. That's what I'm talking about. In real life, you're able to have subtle cues, and you can just see by the body language and the way people speak. Okay, I know he's not meant talking this shit to me. But online, for some reason, it's like if somebody texts me and I don't text back. Let's just say in real life, I was busy doing this and I was running around, I was cleaning my house. In real life, he'd be like, oh, he can't respond because he's doing this. But since he can't see what I'm doing, they're gonna assume that, oh, he didn't text me because he's being a dickhead. And then now they'll respond to me on some dickhead shit, and then I respond back, and then now you see how our argument starts over nothing. This is why that online shit needs to go. It needs to go. This online shit, like, I don't want to say it needs to go, but people take it too seriously. This is why you can't really build no relationship on here unless you got to build something. And like, I don't want to say you can't build relationships on here, but if you do, it needs to be taken offline. Like, okay, we met online. Okay, then let's do something offline and meet. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I would never say to just fully discredit online, because I've met a lot of people online I wouldn't mind doing shit with in real life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it has to be serious. Like, okay, we met online. Let's do something in real life. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. But just to be online and then just that's where it's bad. It even creates an environment where you have toxic positivity or toxic or positive negativity. People they like, you got people who are like part of a fucking, what do they call these communities? These fucking, like, you know, those communities like TFL and MGTOW and all these communities are people like, they have trauma and they have shadow work that needs to be done, and that, like, they don't do it. Like, there's a whole community of people who have shadow work and trauma that needs to be healed, and they don't know it needs to be healed because these spirits are very retarded and stupid and very amateur, so they don't even know that even exists. Shadow work, healing, and trauma. They just, oh, I feel like shit, and it's because of my family and this and that, and then they just project all their pain and talk about all the miserable experiences of their life, and then they bond with other people in that. Like, you got whole communities that bond and just talk shit about how shit their life is, and then they think that's normal, and then they connect and they vibe off of just being a fucking just a nobody and a demon, and they feel good about it. And like, I heard this one nigga was like, I only want to hang around men who are in the same position as me, who don't get any women, who are depressed and angry. Every time I hang around somebody who's positive and happy, I understand that, because if you are depressed and shit and you are in a low, you don't want to hang around. To be honest, you don't want to hang around anybody. You need to just be by yourself and heal yourself. And then when you heal yourself, you're gonna be in a space where you'll meet other people who've healed themselves in that space. You don't want to be around anyone. But for you to be like, you want to be around other miserable people, so you want other people to be miserable and not heal just so they can keep you company, that's fucking demonic. That's hella demonic right there. That's why I say this world we live in is something else. That's why I said that this internet shit, it's not gonna end good for like a lot of people. And then people think that shit is fucking normal. Take trauma bonding. I don't get it. And then eventually you'll notice in those communities, because you can never run away from yourself. So even when you trauma bond, eventually you're gonna find a problem in the people you trauma bonded with. Eventually, those people you're gonna find a problem with. Even if, let's say, one of them better themselves, now they're gonna be your enemy. Because if you're trauma bonding somebody, if one person's like, oh, I want to better myself, and they start doing the work, and then a year later they are in a better space, you're gonna be an enemy now. So it just shows you it wasn't even true friendship or true connection, because you're there now. They're by default your enemy because you're still in that space and they've gotten better, and they're going to be looking at it like, oh, you think you're better than us now, and you think, and it's like it's crazy, and it's even crazier. Even the niggas who don't, even if they don't better themselves, eventually they're gonna start finding problems and flaws within each other, even though they didn't even do no fucking work. Because, like I said, you can't run away from yourself. You always have to face your shadow, your demon. So they're gonna be like, oh, for some whatever reason, you're gonna find a problem within that individual, whether you just don't like the way they talk, or you're gonna just argue with them about something. You have an argument over something so stupid that has nothing to do with nothing. And it's like, now you're gonna be like, at first you're gonna be like, these people, they understand me, they connect with me, and then a year later you keep being cool with them. You're gonna be like, fuck these people. Everybody's retarded. Everyone's stupid. And then you don't want to take it past that level, because at that level you're going to be looking at yourself as stupid, and then subconsciously that's going to probably lead to suicide, where you just take yourself out because you don't even like yourself subconsciously, where you have to kill yourself. That's where suicide leads to, because you always are finding an enemy outside of you. Then when there's no enemies outside of you, you find the enemy in yourself. And how that plays out is that you feeling like you got to kill yourself because you can't handle your own thoughts and emotions. So you can't handle other people's thoughts and emotions. So you say, fuck them, get them away from me. I don't relate to nobody. Then once you can't handle your own thoughts and emotions, then you're going to be like, you know what? I don't, subconsciously, I'm going to just kill myself. And it's going to play out like you got to have so many negative thoughts and emotions that are yours, but then you can't handle it. So you got to just kill yourself. And that's how suicide leads. That always plays out like that. When you can't handle yourself. Your own thoughts and emotions is too much for you. It always plays out like that. So that's why you guys don't want to get to that fucking level. I'm gonna see if I can read some more of these links, or read some more of these. And if there's a link there, if anybody wants to join, put your 2 cents in here. There's so many demons in this world, and people will sit here and post all day about how Dolo and the Soul Group are demons. Dude, it made me want to crowd these false leaders. Yeah, a lot of like that's something I noticed. Like a lot of, I don't let it even get to me. Like I have people who make videos on my channel. They'll be like, this one nigga he made. I'm not even gonna give him a shout out. He's all saying like, "Oh, I need to be removed from YouTube and shit." But then when you look at his page, he only has like 2 videos, and like, what are you providing to people? Or what are you doing to help individuals? Or, and I'm not saying it's about just helping people, but at least if you're gonna, the only reason I say what are you doing to help is because if you're gonna attack somebody else and say they need to be removed, if I'm removed, what are you gonna provide in place of me being removed? Are you just gonna just get rid of, just say, okay, we removed Chauncey one, and then now just go back to being your regular dumbass self and not doing shit for anyone? Like, what was the point of that? You're saying that I'm a problem. Like, if I'm a problem and I need to go, then that must mean you should be a solution. You must have a solution. You can't say something's a problem and not have a solution. I'm not saying you have to have a solution and you have to help people, but if you're not going to have a solution and you're not going to help people, shut the fuck up about blaming people and telling people that they need to go and they need to do this. No, you have no right to say shit. Like, if you don't have a solution, then you have no right to call anybody a demon or to say anything. It makes no sense. At that point, you just triggered and you're upset because of whatever they said to you, or you're just upset and you're angry, and now you want to project it onto them. Shit is crazy. That's why I don't even take most of these people serious on here. Like, got weirdo ass people out here that just, even the dude who was trolling on Mooney Mercury's page. You go and look at his page. The funny thing is, after Mooney Mercury made that video about him, he took down all his videos. At least that's what I think Mooney Mercury said. I didn't even check his channel after that. But why would you take down all your videos? That means you don't even stand for nothing. Because if you stood for what you actually said, even if it was on some bullshit, you would have kept making videos, or you at least kept the videos up. The fact that you took the fucking video down shows you that you got so like I don't get it. It's weird. And these people, these are the people who are programmed by the Matrix, because they feel like the fact that you feel like you gotta attack somebody and they didn't say nothing negative to you, and you want to attack them over what? Their opinion on something. At least debate them if you don't agree with them. It's like that's that Matrix programming. Like, you got that from the master. You got that from your education. Oh, just like, oh, if somebody doesn't like somebody, they have a whole hate campaign on them, or you gotta critique what they said, and like, shit, then get the fuck out of here. Who said you gotta? If you don't like what somebody said, you don't watch it. Like, there's so many people I don't like. I don't fucking watch them. I don't sit there and make a hate campaign on them. I may sit there and say they page, but even if I say they page, it'll be based upon like me teaching, like they're speaking some bullshit, and then I will speak some real shit, and then I'll call them out. But that's how far as it goes. I don't sit there and every day I can give a fuck about these motherfuckers. A lot of these people that they can't help it. Their brain capacity is they have like an incest retarded brain where they can't think to certain high frequency thoughts I can think or people like me can think. So I don't even fucking I look at them like whatever. Like that's just that's how I look at it. He said that's why people in abusive relationships often end up in multiple abuse. Yeah, a lot of people who end up in those abusive relationships, they attract that shit. Like every time when I see a female that's in an abusive relationship, I don't feel sorry for her at all. I look at her like, okay, you deserve that shit because. And usually, when I see a female in an abusive relationship, she has the vibration and energy of somebody who deserves that shit. I'm not saying they deserve to get beat. If you wake up to the fact that you're being abused and leave, then that's when you deserve to not be abused. But if you're in it, then you deserve that shit. I used to be around too many people like that, but I didn't hang out with them. Yeah, I stopped hanging around people like that, like back around high school, like into high school, like probably the last year of high school was like my last year I dealt with demons. After that, because I was hanging around people who just were just negative. It was to a point where I actually thought at one point, like, is it normal for people just to be like this? Like, it isn't. Yeah, once you get up, people are gonna start. The way I look at it, like people are always gonna hate on you. If you don't have nothing, people will hate on you, and if you have everything, people are gonna hate on you. People just gonna hate on you for regardless. You could be a bum with nothing. People are gonna make fun of you. You're a bum. You could be somebody who has everything. People are gonna hate on you that you have everything. It doesn't. It just people are just hating in general. That's all it really is. Because the reason why they just hate is because they want to be in your position, or they even if you don't have shit, they may look at you like because let's just say you're broken, you don't have nothing, you don't care. The fact that you don't care, it upsets them because if they were in your position, they would care. So when you show them you don't care about you being in a low position, it triggers them and upsets them. So now they got to make you feel that you're low. So it's like people just are just weird. That's why you don't even worry about what the fuck motherfuckers think. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this live stream real soon. If anybody don't, I want to see if anybody wants to join. But to be honest, I don't even deal with that. Like I said, like just when you're on your path, when you're in alignment, you don't like. This is why I tell you, if you guys can start implementing fasting into your life, if you guys can, because when you go on these fasts, I'm not just saying like 1 2 day. You gotta like if you guys can work yourself up to like 10 days plus. Try to get because that's when you really start getting the real benefits of fasting on a spiritual and a mental level, not just healing. Because the health benefits you can get that 3 4 5 days as well, but when you want to really get into a mental space, you got to hit like 10 plus days. You have to get to those high number days, like 10 plus days, and then your mind starts changing, the reality starts shifting, and you start getting into what they really call high vibration. Like once you get to that, then it's like you have a shield around you where bullshit don't affect you. I'm not saying bullshit don't happen, but it doesn't affect you. You're not even worried about nobody else. The time goes by so quick, life goes by so seamless, and you just on your shit. That's why you guys want to try to hit those high number days if you can reach. Because once you get to those high number days, you like on a different frequency. You on a different the life right now. You're not fully living right now. Once you really cleanse your body from these negative energies, and you do that through fasting, cleansing, then you'll notice people don't even exist like they do no more. You're in public, you don't even stun nobody no more. It don't even feel, it feels like you're just in your own world. You really, try to get to those number of days if you guys can. It's not, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but it's easy once you get there, because once you get there, then your body gets used to it and you train yourself to do it. But that's really how you really get rid of all of these problems of like fast and cleanse. I feel like a lot of people need to be doing that, because when I see like a lot of issues, like I see like a lot of people like in the gang stalking community and all this shit. And like I don't, because I tracked a lot of people who are in gang stalking community on my page. Maybe because I don't think I've never really made gang stalking videos, but I know like people who watch those videos would be on my page. And I'm like, it has to be for a reason. And I see a lot of these people, like, they go through a lot of issues. I used to go through it, and I'm not saying I don't go through. I still go through some issues and problems, but I'm thinking like when I fast and I cleanse, a lot of problems that I go through, they don't even exist no more. And that's the thing. Like I feel like a lot of people should be doing is fasting and cleansing, and being on that frequency. Because when you on that frequency, then everything just happens, and then you're able to live life like you're supposed to. Because don't you guys? A lot of you guys worry about day to day life, like what I got to do today, what I got to do tomorrow. We're in a time right now where you got to just be on your purpose, and whatever comes from that, and something will come from that. You just got to be dedicated, and you're not just, oh, I'm on my purpose for 1 week or 1 month. You got to be doing this shit every single fucking day for like at least a few months, and then you're gonna start noticing changes and things happening in your life. Isn't like, because like I said, ain't nothing really easy in this world. Like the state of being that you guys are trying to reach and get to, it you you have to put in a lot of energy work to get there. Like a lot of you guys say, oh, I want to just be happy, I want to have peace, I want to have this and that, but you say that like it's easy. Like you have to put in so much work to get there. It's not just you just do a little bit of work and then you good, and you got to put in so much work to get there. And if you don't, then you're never going to get there. And this is why you're in the state you're in right now, where you're like, why am I not there? I'm trying to do this, I'm trying, and you feel like you can never get, it's always out of reach, just because you're not putting in enough work. Because like I said, nothing is free. Like everything, you're just the amount of work you got to put into the matrix, you got to put in even more into the spiritual. But the thing is, once you put in enough work, then you get helped. The energy will help you. Everything you need in life is gonna help you. Whether it be even like with the fasting, the more you do it, it's gonna help you. Like when you see these people who are like breatharian who don't eat, it is no there's no strategy to get there. Or what happens is you're in alignment with your path, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then eventually you will get granted the ability to not need to eat. If you have problems with discipline and you feel like you're lazy, you don't have any drive, you want to eat healthy, you're like, how do you eat healthy? I don't like healthy food. Try eating healthy for like 6 months. Eventually you wake up one morning and healthy food's gonna taste like junk food. That's how this works. If you want to be healthy in your body, it's not about just, oh, I gotta eat healthy, I gotta exercise. It's about having a mindset of health and just living by that for months, even if it takes a year. Eventually, you're just going to be healthy. It's a mindset. You have to be in a mindset, and you have to be doing it. You can't just say you want this and then it comes to you. Because like I said, all of this is all spiritual. You can take care of your health, but if you don't have the mindset, you're not going to be healthy. You go to the gym every day, you can eat healthy, but if you don't have the mindset and you're not doing it through like righteousness and being in alignment, then you're not gonna have it. Yeah, I'm just getting hot in here. I'm probably gonna end this live stream, guys. Probably gonna end this live stream. Yeah, I just wanted to like make this little live stream for you guys, just to. Okay, good. I got my packages and yeah, but see, I'm addicted to non-toxic foods. Yeah, so that's how it is. Like, there's a lot of toxic foods that I fucking like. I can't eat, like, literally, I can't eat shit now. Like, most of the food that I used to be able to eat, I can't eat no more. I can't eat most food. Like, even when I was, okay, I'm on my fast right now, but when I was eating before, like, I see that picture, like, I can't even eat that shit. But the thing is, though, when I remember I sent you that picture of the food I didn't eat, I couldn't eat. After I ended my fast and I started eating it, my body started kind of getting accustomed to it. So when you get off the foods, you want to make sure you stay off of them, because it's like you don't want to get you, just like you can gravitate and change eating healthy, you can actually revert back to eating unhealthy. So you want to make sure you don't revert back, because the food is like a drug. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. I'm gonna be back on a little later. This one, I'll probably be back on in a few days. And yeah. Peace.